All right, everyone, welcome back to Kadem. Today, we are diving deep into something kind of wild that happened on the Senate floor this week.
Yeah.
Something that, honestly, you don't see every day to set the stage.
Right.
We're talking about Senator Cory Booker.
Okay.
And he pulled a move straight out of, well, I don't even know where to compare it to.
Out of a movie, maybe?
Okay, a movie.
A political thriller.
Right. He went on this speech-a-thon, basically,
He did.
on the Senate floor. And we're talking over 19 hours.
Yeah.
19 plus.
19 plus hours.
And the guy just keep going. So obviously a lot of people are asking why, what was he protesting?
Right.
What was the point of all of this? And what does it even tell us about, the current state of things in Washington?
Exactly.
So that's what we're going to break down today, right?
Yeah.
We're going to unpack his motivations, the target of this whole protest,
Yeah.
the specific policies he was really going after, and even the historical echoes this whole thing kind of brings up.
Absolutely.
So if you're ready to get into some serious political analysis,
I'm ready.
hit that like button, subscribe to the channel,
Definitely.
and let's dive in.
Let's do it.
So I got to say right off the bat, just the act itself is pretty incredible.
No, it is.
19 hours plus on your feet talking continuously. I mean, that's not just, a casual Senate address. This was a statement.
Absolutely. And I think what's so fascinating here is that this wasn't him just yielding the floor in the traditional sense.
Right.
There was no sitting down, no wandering around.
Right.
He was really making a point of this prolonged presence.
Right. So this was a marathon with a purpose, with a very specific target.
Right.
So who or what exactly was Senator Booker aiming to address with this whole, extraordinary effort?
Well, the focus was definitely on the policies coming from the Trump administration.
Okay.
But what I think is interesting is that it wasn't just a laser focus on one single policy.
Right, right.
He really brought up a range of areas where he has significant concerns.
So when we say a range, what kind of issues are we talking about here? What did he really bring to the forefront during those long hours on the floor?
Well, he covered some really critical ground. Healthcare,
Yeah.
Social Security, immigration, public education, and even aspects of foreign policy.
Wow.
And it was really compelling to see him not just rely on his own perspective, but actually incorporating the voices of his constituents.
Right.
He read personal letters on the floor.
Wow.
So it was really showing, directly how these policies were affecting real people.
Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah. And he even brought in perspectives from abroad,
Oh, wow.
sharing statements from world leaders, which really added layers to his arguments.
So he was going for the full, bringing in different perspectives and voices,
It is
really emphasizing and
absolutely as comprehensive as possible.
So if you're finding this breakdown interesting so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all our deep dives.
For sure.
So going back to the speech itself, it wasn't just about the talking, right? There was a real symbolic element to this whole thing that really underscored his commitment. And I'm thinking specifically about his chair.
Oh, the chair. Absolutely.
What was going on there?
The removal of his chair was a powerful visual, right?
Right.
I mean, it was a clear statement that he was in it for the long haul.
Right.
This wasn't just, a fleeting protest.
Right.
And although it wasn't a formal filibuster with all those procedural requirements,
Right.
the intent was really clear that, as he put it, these are extraordinary times requiring extraordinary measures.
Extraordinary measure.
Absolutely. It really makes you wonder, what kind of impact that visual symbolism has on public perception.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely noticed. It was definitely
Absolutely.
talked about. So he's standing there, he's speaking, but he wasn't entirely alone out there, was he?
No, not at all. And this is another interesting aspect of this whole thing.
Okay.
There's a strategic element of support from some of his colleagues,
Oh, interesting.
Senators Chris Murphy and Andy Kim.
Okay.
They engaged him with questions at certain points.
Okay.
And these weren't just, procedural niceties.
Right.
This was actually providing these crucial pauses for Booker, allowing him to gather himself without technically yielding the floor.
Interesting. So it was like a little bit of a tag team.
Exactly. It speaks to a coordinated effort.
Right.
Absolutely.
Interesting. So now when you hear about a senator speaking for almost a full day,
Right.
it kind of brings up these historical comparisons.
Right.
We can't help but think about those other times this has happened.
Exactly.
So what's the context here historically?
Well, I think when we talk about the history of these kind of Senate protests, one name immediately comes to mind.
Okay.
Strom Thurmond,
Oh, yeah.
who holds the record for the longest Senate speech over 24 hours.
Wow.
So Booker's effort surpassing 19 hours definitely sparked a lot of speculation
Yeah.
about, was he aiming for that record?
Was this about the record, or was it about
Exactly.
the issue?
And regardless of, his intention, the sheer endurance really underscores the gravity of his concerns.
Yeah. I mean, it's a huge statement.
Oh, absolutely. It's a statement.
19 hours.
Yeah, it makes you think about the urgency of the moment, right?
Right.
When a senator feels compelled to go to such lengths.
You're right. What
That
does
would-
that say about how he's feeling about
Exactly.
these issues?
What's at stake?
So, for everyone watching at home, if you're just tuning in now, or if you've been with us the whole time, make sure to drop a comment below.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think about this whole thing.
Your thoughts.
Your thoughts on Booker's motivations on the policies he was targeting.
Exactly.
And if you're enjoying the breakdown,
Yeah.
smash that like button.
Hit subscribe?
And subscribe to the channel so we can keep bringing you these deep dives.
Absolutely.
So, big picture, what is the main takeaway here from this whole deep dive into Senator Booker's marathon speech?
Well, ultimately, this was, a highly visible and really sustained protest on one of the most prominent stages in the nation.
Yeah.
I mean, he really used the platform of the Senate floor to directly challenge a wide swath of the Trump administration's policies.
Yeah, and using personal stories and all these broader global perspectives to really emphasize, the potential impact of these policies.
Highlighting those potential consequences.
It really leaves you thinking.
It does.
And so this is something we want to leave you with today, considering all of the different areas that Senator Booker brought up.
Right. Healthcare, foreign policy, all of it.
All of it.
So on.
A whole spectrum.
Yeah.
What single policy shift do you think would create the most significant change?
Yeah.
And why? Tell us in the comments below.
Let us know.
Let's have a conversation about it. And thanks for diving deep with us.
Thanks for watching.